Administration and the Education Department, family, friends, and distinguished guests. I would like to take this time on behalf of my family, both immediate and extended, would like to acknowledge and thank everyone that's here during our house Christ, we received Dad's body, and those who have sent their condolences and contributions in kind and cash, and everyone that were with us these past few weeks since his passing. We have received countless phone calls, emails, text messages, and messages from social media. They have been both comforting and encouraging in this difficult time. Based on the few people that shared their last remaining months or weeks with him through face-to-face conversations or mobile communication, we can see that God knew his time of death and he gave him strength to do a lot of things in a very short time, just to leave a legacy and having his vision become reality. It's never easy to say goodbye to someone who has been a huge part of our lives from birth until the 6th of February 2024. When that person is gone, there's a void in our life that cannot be filled. That's what many of us are feeling today. Some of you knew our dad, the late Minister for Education and the member for Usino-Bundi Gama, Honorable Jimmy Uguro, better than others. But we are all here today because he had impacted our lives, and we want to honor that. At such a difficult time, it's important to remember the good memories we all have of our late minister and member for Usino-Bundi Gama. By holding on to those memories, we can focus on the good times we had together and help each other find comfort in this time of sorrow. Some of you may remember or know him as the Minister for Education, member for Usino-Bundi Gama, your government partner, colleague, mentor, friend, brother, brother-in-law, uncle, grandpa, and other relationship you might have with him. He had touched the lives of each of us sitting here by how he treated, talked, encouraged, motivated, and inspired us in our respective walks of life. He was a very humble, loving, kind-hearted, generous to all, patient, cheerful, slow to anger, respectful, and was open to everyone. And whenever he interacts with someone, regardless of status, he always goes down to their level. And that's one thing most of us will remember him by. Out of all these qualities, you can name more depending on your own interactions with him on personal and professional level. But one thing my siblings and mom will remember and forever cherish is that he had a forgiving heart. There were instances where we would vent to him about people not treating us right, and we would want him to take our side to do something, or to address the situation. Or we would say, we don't want to associate with certain people anymore. But he would always tell us to forgive them and love them regardless. He always quoted this Bible text found in Matthew 5:43-44 that reads, "But I say unto you, love your enemies, Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. He was a man of faith. He always encourages us by quoting Bible text when addressing situations that we face. And one more thing that we will miss the most is whenever we're faced with problems, he always brings us together as a family, and we would make chain prayer, the type where you hold hands and pray together as family. Like you all have mentioned in the previous nights of the house cry, he was a very positive person that always sees things positively and encourages us always to do the same. I can clearly quote one of his famous lines: "When you think positive, you attract positive. Do not let negative situation influence you to think negatively." He was a simple person, and he always encourages us, his children, to dress, behave simple, and respect our elders with reference to his upbringing and the struggle he faced to get to where he was. I am sure most of you sitting here knows his story, as he always shares with anyone he interacts with. When he was working as the provincial elementary coordinator, we were living with his adopted family at Odd Village in Medellin. There's a part of Wali society. So at that time, it was just the four of us: Dad, Mom, me, and Donald. We did not have a lot. Mom was working as the elementary teacher at Lutheran Day Elementary School, and sometimes would not be on pay. Sometimes we would not have food to eat or protein to eat with the food. But he taught us to appreciate the little things we had. Growing up, Donald and I saw the struggles that Mom and Dad went through, and we always find ways to help them financially. I would pick mangoes from our backyard and go sell at 4 Mile Market to get some money to buy us food for dinner. Donald would boil eggs and bring to school to sell. We did what we could to go through each day. I remember he always sings this hymn, "Little is much when God is in it." And we would always pray. We prayed for a bus, and God gave us a bus, a white Nissan bus, which he named Focus at the front and Mindset. Focus was written on the front and Mindset was written on the back. He often emphasizes on why he wrote these two words to us. In his words, when you want something, you have to focus and set your mind in order to achieve it. He had his own way of using a situation, phrases, or words to make us think of all the meanings and all the meanings that associated with it, and what positive thing we could get out of the negative situation that we were facing. Like, for example, when he sees little children selling betel nuts in the streets, he would ask us, what lesson would you get out of it, out of this? And then he would go on to make out few stories, and out of the stories he would pick out a lesson or two and tell us. Before he went to contest in the 2012 national general election in Usino-Bundi, he sat us down as family and asked us if we agreed of his decision to contest. And we said we agreed and will support him in whatever ways we could, like always. And like always, we held hands and prayed together in his room. After the election, he came forth, and again we met as family and prayed. I can clearly remember him praying and said, God, maybe this was not your will for me, and may your peace be upon me and my family. After the election, he was jobless, and only Mom was working. And at that time, Mom would make cup ice blocks to sell for our lunch money and fuel for Dad to go live here at work, us at school and back home. He helped Mom make ice blocks and taught us to pray and have faith that God will still provide for us and we should trust Him. It happened that he was appointed as the district administrator for Usinobundi in 2013 to 2014. When that happened, we prayed again for that. He always tells us to pray for the things that God blessed us with. In a way, he was indirectly teaching us that everything that we have is because of God and that we should always praise and serve Him even in our darkest days. He trained us to put God first in all that we do, be humble, respect others, love everyone, forgive others, and always share. He always reminds us that if you have all these good morals in you, God will bless you. 2017 came and he wanted to try election again, and we supported him. And this time he won. When we had the news, he gathered us again and we prayed and thanked God for his victory, because he had also blessed us with a house which is now our family home at Torokina Estate in Medellin. And that house was our prayer since Donald and I were little and as far as I can remember. So when that happened, it was a double blessing to us. When he was mandated as the MP for Usinobundi, he never stopped praying with us. He never changed his ways nor his faith for any new position he takes on or anyone. He has never compromised his beliefs also for anyone. He stood firm in his faith as a born-again believer and a true Baptist. That is one of the things I always admire about him. And he made sure his business to always remind us that God is real, heaven is real, hell is real. He also made sure we understand that everything that we have and are enjoying is his blessing from God. And we must not be too comfortable, as God gives and can take away anytime. So the last time he went to India for his last official trip last month, I sent some Bible texts and encouraging messages through our WhatsApp family group. And he replied and said, "When I come back from India, I will come to Medellin and we go to church." So he lived up to his word. When he got back from India, he came to Medellin and went straight to church. Because of his traveling and work, he doesn't go to church much. So when he went, the church members wanted to vote him out. And this was what he told them. "Lord, lo church, lo rausiman, because I'm no come plenty time, lo church, yeah. A man yet make him no God. And Lord, lo this the ground, now you plan on approaching me." That's what he told me in the afternoon. So they did not vote him out. I asked him later this evening, because I went to our other church, same church but different locations, and he told me all about that. We later found out from his church members that while he was in Medellin attending his last church service at Morning Star Baptist Church, he went for altar call. Knowing him, he doesn't go for altar call. He always prayed while sitting down on the pews. So, guess his spirit knew already that his time was almost up and he prepared himself. My dad and I, we always share with each other about everything and anything, from Bible texts to politics and life. And now I will miss him terribly. But whenever I miss him or discover something new, I will just send him a message through WhatsApp and hope he replies or not. His last messages to us from our family WhatsApp group were a selfie with Dr. Uke, the Secretary for Education, on a chopper traveling to Yanguru, Sausia, with a caption, "To Yanguru, Sausia now," at 12 past 10 a.m. That was on Monday. And another message at 3:51 p.m., that was his last message, that reads, "Back in Wewak town, tomorrow Pom." And we waited for his message in the morning, but it never came. Lastly, he always had time for us out of all his busy schedules. He would make sure he listens to what we children wants and make sure everyone gets equal treatment. When he sees that one child is not happy and is upset, he always hugs us and say, "No can worry, Daddy Blue no die yet." And made sure he gives us something to cheer us up. And we will really miss that. When we bring our friends home, he was always the father figure to them. When he gave us lunch money, he would give them the same amount or tell us to half it with them. This also goes to extended family as well. When his officers, leaders from the village, family members, or any prominent person that comes home, the first thing he always says to us was, "Making coffee, lol big man," or boiling rice. I'm sure everyone that always comes to our house knows this. And we always comply. Now that he is gone, we will continue to uphold his values and teachings that he had taught us, especially to respect our elders and to treat everyone equal regardless of status. He was always so passionate about his work and a true Pangu Party supporter. On that note, I am the one living in Meding while my whole family lives in Pom. So every time I see news regarding issues concerning our country, I always WhatsApp him in our family group, asking him to confirm or asking him about, "Hey, this is happening, what's going on?" And he always assures me that this is all politics and it will go away. And because he always assures me that, I then assures my WhatsApp contacts or friends that everything is fine and we shouldn't worry about it. So now I will miss this and him assuring us that everything is fine. There are many more qualities and stories to tell, but I will just leave it here. Some stories are meant to be kept in our hearts and be treasured. It's really hard to say goodbye to someone who had a big impact on our lives. It's always hard to lose someone you know, to let go of them and move on. Just by being here, you're showing us that our dad and the late minister had an impact on you. And that's a great comfort to us, that he touched other people's lives in the same way he touched ours. And that's how we will all remember him by. To my siblings and mom, if we keep these good memories in our hearts and mind, we can find comfort, and Dad will always be with us. And to Dad, we missed you when you were with us, and we will miss you more. Thank you.